I'm going to do a quick overview of how to run tracks with this current setup at Wooddale. So, first thing I want to talk about is the follow plugin. So if you have your set open, to look at the follow plugin, which it's kind of the heart of this whole system, you're going to go up to this guide track and double click it. And so what this does is it shows you for this track what plugins are on that track, and there's only one. It's called Follow Scene, and what this thing does is it says when it gets to the end of this clip, I'm going to automatically trigger the next scene. Over here, these are scenes. If I launch any of these scenes, it's going to play all of these clips together. So if I launch the chorus scene, plays all these clips that are in the chorus in this row. So across multiple different tracks, it's going to play all these clips. So what the follow scene is allowing is that when I'm going to trigger this first scene here, and it'll advance to the next one.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cool. So let's see what happens, just to explain this even a little better. If I just turned it off, here's what would happen.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
And we just get click forever. So you have a couple different options. Like you can set this to again, and it's just going to loop this forever.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
But for this project and for 99% of them, it's going to just be on next the whole time. And this is this little panel within the follow scene plugin is the only part you need to look at, and it just always should be set to next. To jump between again and next, you can hit the follow key on your Mac's keyboard. At least I labeled it follow. It's ASDF. It's the F key on the keyboard. F for follow. And that'll jump back and forth between it. But again, it'll just stay on next the entire time. So what we're looking at down here, you can toggle between the track view, which is what we're in, right? So it's looking at what effects are on this track. But you can toggle over by either hitting these little tabs or by hitting Shift Tab. You can toggle between what's called the clip view. So this is track view, this is a clip view, and this is showing our count off clip,
1,
our guide clip.
2, 1.
And at the end of this, it's going to obviously advance to the next scene because that's the end of this clip, right? That's about it for the follow plugin. Just make sure it's on next. Moving on, I want to talk about track groups. So you can see these are labeled by song. If you hit this little circle icon with the lines in it, it'll expand out our track group for Everbee. And you have all the individual tracks for a given song. So like percussion, acoustic guitar, bass. And if you wanted to adjust the volume of a song overall, you can just go down to the track group, and then for any parameters in live, you're just going to click on the parameter you want to adjust, and then you can arrow up or down, and then down. If you see down in the bottom left, it'll show you a numerical value for that. So we'll leave that at 0. But if I'm playing, it's too loud, overall, you can just do that. As long as these are routed to this track group, which the way I have it set up right now, they currently are. If you wanted to, for instance, just turn down the percussion, you'd unfold it, hit that little circle icon. Just the percussion in Everbee, that is. You'd want to grab the percussion track, so I see a bunch of percussion clips. I'd click on this and then either drag it down or arrow up and down. double click to reset. So that's how you turn down or you adjust volume based on track as well as track group, the whole song. How to turn off one track. So if you wanted to turn, you can see I have piano disabled right now. If I wanted to turn on piano for the whole song, because I'm going to play it and you won't hear piano, it's grayed out. If I wanted to turn on piano for the whole song, I would shift click from the first to the last clip, and then the hotkey for enable or disabling clips is 0. So I just hit the 0 key, and that'll turn that on, so now we can hear them. I'm gonna shift click and hit 0 again to turn them off. You won't have to do this today, but it is helpful to know how to transpose. So similarly, if you instead of just going for one track, if you shift click everything that you want to transpose, notice I didn't go for percussion or drums because we don't need to transpose those. If you shift and then click all the melodic tracks that you want to transpose, and then if you look down here, we're in that track view that I talked about earlier. You're going to want to hit Shift Tab. Shift Tab, or you can use the little tab down here. We want to look at clip view. So now we're editing the clip information for everything that we have highlighted. So if you hit one of these, it'll give you the clip information for one of them. If we highlight a bunch, it gives you the information, and you can adjust for all of them. So we're going to hit transpose again, just click on that parameter. And now if I wanted to go from D to E, I'd hit the up arrow once, twice, now I'm 2 steps up. We can dive into details later, but you need this warp feature needs to be on for transposing. Otherwise it will not stay in time. So you will change the pitch, but it will adjust the tempo accordingly, so it'll be weird. So make sure warp is on before you transpose. And I'm going to click that and arrow back down because I want it to stay in D. Alright, I think that's it for tracks basic stuff for the actual audio tracks. For routing, the last thing I want to talk about is routing audio. So the first thing you'd want to make sure is that you have the right audio interface set for your audio output. So if you go up to Live and then Preferences, or if you hit Command comma, then you'll be able to, you're looking at this right here, audio output device. When you plug in your audio interface, it should show up there, and you'll select that. If it's if it's just a 3-channel setup where you have a master 1 and 2 out for the tracks, and then you have a third channel out for the click and cues together, which is the case at Edina as of November 2019 anyway. You have a 2-track out for the tracks and then a 3rd track for guide and click together. That setup would look like this, where you're going to make sure master is on. Just 1 second. This will let us simulate that. So master is on 1 and 2. Cue out, which is tricky because that's literally the name of the metronome. So the metronome, if you want to send the metronome somewhere, it's under this cue out. So I set cue out to 3, and now metronome is going out channel 3. And then the last thing is the guide track. We want to set that to go out channel 3 as well, so that guide and click are together on channel 3. And then as a side note, if you need to adjust the tracks, if you go up here and hover over the side of the track name, you can make them bigger so you can see what the heck's going on. So yeah, this needs to be, audio 2 needs to be external out, because you don't want to route it back into Ableton. You literally want to send it out. So audio 2 external out, and then external out 3 is what we're going for. And then, yeah, I guess just note that the track groups their audio is going to master. So essentially, master out is controlling all of the is saying anything that's getting sent to master out, which channels am I going to send that out for the audio interface. So that would include, it looks like all of our track groups are going to master, and then the pads track group is going to master as well. So that's going to be all of our music content, all of our tracks. We're going to go out 1 and 2, or whatever channel I select here. That is all I have. Let me know if you have any questions.